All right, fishing's been pretty good. So I don't think there's too much time to start flying some drones and giving you a whole lot of B-roll. But what I want to do here, I want to kind of keep this unedited. I'm digging this unedited format. I want to get better at it. Future for me is either, overproducing some stuff, getting lots of B-roll and underwater shots, which is fun. But I think I like to, want to become a better storyteller. Fished a lot. I'm going to fish right now, and I still enjoy fishing. I don't enjoy flying drones around a whole lot and having a production crew. I like being out here alone, fishing, enjoying the day, but I think I could tweak what I'm doing a little better. So, out here today, well, I hope I catch enough fish. That's the problem. Sometimes I just, I might catch some nice fish in a day, in my opinion. But I'll tell you what, the fishing's been pretty good out here these days. Plenty of action. So I picked a location today where we could do some really nice long, say, 3/4 mile drifts. I'll call flukes and summer flounder interchangeable a lot because, a lot of people don't really refer to them as fluke in lots of places in the country. That's kind of like a localized term. But I'm going to start at this pier. Got lots of divots and humps and dips and rocks, so I can have a nice long 1/2 mile an hour drift. Hey, I'm going to tell you the truth right now. I think this first 30 minutes, it's going to take a minute to find some concentrated life. Because this is such a scattered area. And then I'm going to be bumping the camera. I'm going to be effing up a bunch. We'll see who shows up here. Yesterday I caught 3 weak fish here, dropped 1 at the kayak, 1 big, 8 to 10 pound bluefish, and 1 average bluefish. So I had a little bit of a bite. I got here a little late. It was like 9 a.m., so I didn't really get a good tide. Made a point of it to get started at sunrise today. And I don't think we'll see a lot of fish, so I hope I can fill in some gaps by yapping my face off. And honestly, I feel more comfortable just talking all day here in the Northeast because average day you'll bump into lots of people talking to themselves out in public. They'll be screaming in the streets. Oh, we've seen plenty of that, but I shouldn't joke about it too much. There's definitely a sad story to that too. But at the same time, I feel a little less insecure about talking to a camera all day for some reason. Maybe it's more background noise out here. That's a good question. So anyway, I'm set up on this drift. You can see I got kind of like that funnel of water. I've got some marks from yesterday. So yesterday was coming through here for an hour, catching a few fish, just marking it out a little bit too. Big flounder would be here, a few of them. Anywhere there's a lot of forage for them this time of year. And this is one of those areas there's probably some larger forage. Around here there's probably some scup, small sea bass, those puffer fish. I don't know if they'll eat those puffer fish, but just to give you an idea. Yeah, that 18-foot stuff did not produce just now. I was hoping 18 would start the bite. Doesn't seem like it's going to start here. Somewhere on the edge of this stuff. Might get hung up here in this current though, we'll see. It's going to be hard. Nasty stuff right here. Oh, it didn't get hung up. I also didn't get a bite. And that was some great structure. I should have picked something there. Got some more right here too. This runs up to 14 feet. Nothing. Oh man, I got my work cut out for me today, I think. Just a couple taps that drift. There's one. Okay, that's how long we have to wait. Not a bad fish, really. So that fish is going to run just shy of that keeper size. That is 20-pound leader. Sometimes I do even, the other day, not sure if you watched it, I broke off 20-pound leader on my first swing. And yeah, this is not going to be a quantity day. This should be a quality day. Because yeah, I'm really just going out here for some better bites and some nice drifts. This is kind of more of the fishing I would do. That's definitely a keeper, right? I don't know. I only have some ice with. I only have one bag of ice with me though. Gosh, do I keep it already? Because you know, ice. Good amount of ice was $10 a bag. Not $10 a bag, but close to it. Well, that is a nice fish, actually. Yeah. So that's a 22-inch fluke right there. Nice start. I was on structure. I know where I caught her. All right, I'm gonna let you go. I want to keep one around 9 a.m. so this way I don't have to deal with the ice situation. Obviously, if I gut hooked that fish, I would, you know, keep it and then probably call it a day shortly after. But yeah, that's going with that bigger profile. That was my first bite that was like stuck. So first bite was that 22-incher. Let's run up for that again. It could be more fish there, so keep working it. That jig head's I think it's called Buckeye lures. These are pretty good. I think they use the heavy duty mustads on here. These are bass swim bait jigs though. But yeah, 22-inch fluke, that's a good one. Do you know I had that I was coming out of that zone of some structure there, so I'm just gonna add that procure again. Buddy Nate took my menhaden one. It's on his kayak. I'll tell you what though, with that procure, they still do that pop and latch on. Like I had a chance to set the hook into that fish. Sometimes when you fish with plastics or metal lures and these good-sized fluke or flounders start biting them, and they'll pop it, but they let it go. Like with Gulp and this sort of stuff, this procure stuff, they want it. So that nice 6-inch profile, put a pretty heavy jig head on there. This is 3/8 of an ounce, so, and I'm working this really slow because there's a lot of structure here and stuff. I don't want to overwork it because I'm going to hang up. Okay, there's that structure. I think I hooked up on the edge of this earlier. That might have been a fish. Oh no. Next drift I'll do Gulp. Man, I had like no junk fish into, you know, messing with my jigs here, so that's already good. I'm staying with Nate right now. After this week, I'll be visiting my parents up in the Finger Lakes. My wife Margaret's gonna meet me, so that'll be a good time. We'll probably fish together, hang out with the dog, all that stuff. Last year there was a big algae bloom in the Finger Lakes, so the fishing wasn't very good for me. And then we had all the smoke in the air, and being on the kayak was like extra exhausting. And then I have this electric cheat kayak. You know, a lot of people are giving me shit about fishing off this kayak these days. I don't know. I like it because it lets me cover more mileage, like I'm back in my 20s and not feeling as wiped, so I could do some adult responsibilities still. You know, you do fish for, you know, for content living. I mean, I hate the fact that some days I feel like I'm getting forced to make content for the sake of content. I always want to make sure I'm like enjoying it as much as I did, you know, when I got started. You know, I never got in for money or anything. I was just like, I just viewed it as like, wow, there's a way I can make a living doing something I love. You might disagree with that, I guess. The fact that, you know, there's people allowed to, you know, they really liked fishing, and that passion of fishing has driven them to make content as a living. I mean, there is definitely the downside of that to be the fact that there's people who are making content for the sake of content to make a living. Yeah, I'm not as thrilled with that part of them, but I think there's a lot of people that are passionate about this sport of fishing or whatever it is, any other outdoor sports, and they want to make it work. It's really the passion that's driving them. But unfortunately, you're getting drawn into molds like algorithms, and I call it the race to the bottom sometimes, you know, who could do the dumbest thing. And when I got started doing all this YouTube crap, I was doing some stupid SHIT. But it is also, I guess, I didn't know any better. There was so much, I just didn't know. That's what I would say. Hopefully I got a little better at it. I feel like I've definitely grown on a personal level. Yeah. Okay, we didn't get another bite doing that. So that fish was a one and done solo act, 22 incher. That's a good fish. That fish is probably 3.5, 4 pounds, right? Catching a lot, man. The class of 21 to 22 inch fish around this year is really impressive. Like, I haven't gotten any doormats obviously yet, but like real ones, like over 6 pounds. But yeah, 20 inch to 22 inch fish, man. It seems like there's tons of those things around this year. All right, so now I drifted out into 22 feet. I'm pretty much off most of the structure. I don't know if I should repeat that exact drift again. That was kind of quiet. Maybe I should give it like 15 minutes. I don't know. Get, wow, sea turtle out here, man. It's been a while. Pretty cool. I don't know if you saw him come up there. I think that was a loggerhead, like a small one. He had a couple barnacles on his back. We don't see the leatherbacks in the Northeast. I think you see the loggerheads mostly and a couple of the terrapins. Honestly, I'm not sure who's endangered these days and who's not in that category. But yeah, sometimes these charts have like wrecks that they're off or something like that. Sometimes they're accurate. It might be a wreck. We'll see. It's coming up on it. There's definitely something down here that has caused a change in contour. I like jigging these. Oh yeah, that could be that is a legitimate wreck. Oh crap. All right, let me try to see if I can. No life on it though. We're gonna lose this jig though. It's one way to check the legitimacy, but maybe the back side of this. So we're hung up here, right? So oh, there we go. Got it out. Really the move here. Always try to run up against that structure. Okay, I'll be a little more careful there. Yeah, it could be sea bass, who knows? But a couple fish came up to look at my jig, I can see that. Oh man, I screwed that up again. This thing's sticky. I'm gonna figure it out. And this is how a typical day of ISV fishing goes. I think I find a spot that I'm super pumped about. Oh, it's got like a rope on it or something like that. That's what it is. I think we're gonna break it off this time though. This one feels like it's in there. Oh, this, it is like a fishing line. Fishing line's definitely the hardest to deal with. Yeah, Justin Johnson's unedited videos. You don't see him breaking off crap for hours. I got it out. Okay, so there is fishing line down there. I think that's what I'm hitting. How did I know that was fishing line? Maybe it was hard to see on camera. There was like some shaking of the. Should I use the same hook? I hate when I rebend the hook back into the position, but I feel like a drum. Seems to really weaken it like that. Easy fodder for a drum or striper to reopen. Let me just try a different edge of this. That's a real heavy chunk of structure out here, man. Gonna finish this drift to right about this pier probably. Try to line up this pier. I'm gonna try one other area, maybe another quarter mile back, half mile back, and then I'm gonna reset and do some drifts back there in some different depths. It's gonna be a matter of picking a fish here, picking a fish there. I don't think there's gonna be a magic spot, so it's gonna be a lot of talking, but it's 6:40 in the morning, one keeper fluke. No other bites, not yet at least. All right, hope you're not all asleep yet. I'm trying my best. Trust me, I really am. I feel like kind of obliged to make a cast or two with a paddle tail maybe. It's more of like a rip. That could have some fluke though, but it looks like more of a stripe or a bluefish spot. But no bites. My brain thought it was gonna be good here, but I'm gonna do that same drift again where we picked that first fluke. A little bit of adjustments. I'm gonna use the Z-Man streaks this drift. I think we'll just get a little bit more action, from some smaller fish, etc. Okay, so I bumped it down to 13 feet. I'm marking some life out here a little shallower. That's the fast current, this spit of like medium stuff. And here it'll make a little more sense for me to start casting around too. It's a smaller profile, it's thinner. So, only thing with that Elazitech stuff, sometimes, you know, those small fish start popping it left and right. You miss them, it likes to foul up a lot. But in terms of cost effectiveness, yeah, it's good. I've got it paired on a 3/8 ounce, I think it's the Z-Man headlocks jigs. I do like those jig heads a lot. So this drift, I actually pushed this drift shallower. There we go. Don't know what type of fish this is. He's helicoptering. All right. Hooked him right on the side there. I think we're going to drop him on the swing, but nope, we got him. Okay, that's fluke number 2. That's on the Z-Man. Fish getting the lenses. I think we'll just get more action doing this though. So honestly, I'd probably have done a few more drifts with the whiptail. Try to call out a bigger fish or two, but I think this profile is still of decent enough size. We should still see some 22-inch fish for sure. But it seemed like knocking it down. We actually went a little shallower this drift. This current's less than a mile an hour here. I guess I do like slower drifts for structure too. And that feeding window is going to be from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. probably. Ooh, let's see what that was. Does that look? These are bluefish, I'm guessing, but you know, normally I probably wouldn't cast at them. There's been a few of these guys hopping around this morning sporadically. Let's see if one of these guys want to bite. Maybe it was stripers, but I doubt it. I think it's a little early for Spanish mackerel in this part of the country. Yeah, they didn't bite. I didn't get there in time. Yeah, I think it's a little early for those Spanish mackerel. That'll happen soon too, probably. I don't know how far into these bays those Spanish have been going. Where I grew up in the Northeast, did we get Spanish mackerel inside Jamaica? Nah, that was pretty rare. Maybe Breezy Point Jetty got them every now and then. It's definitely not a typical Jamaica Bay thing. A couple smaller bites. I know this Z-Man's going to get more action to fill in some entertainment gaps, I think. This thing's getting beat up. There we go. There's a sea robin. And I'm all tangled up now. Okay. I'm sure going through these longer drifts with the structure too, you know, like focusing on the structure side, I'll have less people fishing near me. See, I had a couple bites there. See, that's what happened. Oh man, maybe it wasn't hard. It was hard to see. Those smaller taps fouls up pretty quickly, that Z-Man stuff. But, you know, it's indestructible. I wouldn't say completely indestructible, but unless I lose this jig head to some kind of structure, I bet I'll have it on all day. I mean, the puffer fish will still beat it up. No bites, though. I had some steady marks all through there, that drift. I also sometimes wonder if when those fluke are coming off the bottom to follow the lure a little bit, they start to show up on the sonar a little bit more than they typically would. I feel like I should do that drift again. There was enough life coming through there. Maybe with some luck I can figure out what they're going to eat. I'm going to power off for a second. Hang on. Here we go. Yeah, there are some fish in this zone. I wonder what they are. I went down to a 3/8 ounce mackerel. This is a really small profile, so these are things like small black sea bass, scup. I'll start picking them up pretty steady on this, I bet. I'm out of stock of these 3/8 ounce mackerels right now. I got some for me, but yeah, I don't have too many. Just, ooh, we're gonna get bit here. I mean, if we don't get bit. We'll lose our Mackinaw to a bluefish, I bet. It's coming. I don't know. I'm amazed I didn't get bit there, though. Was I too loud? It's possible. I was 13 feet and those fish were stacked on top of each other. It could have been spooked a little bit. Picking up some junk. So these sorts of areas can be hard to try to cast and jig through because, yeah, that structure's got so much junk on it itself too. No bites, man. That's not a good sign. I'm trying to figure this out here. It's giving me some difficulty, I guess. All right, let's try another drift with the streaks. Our wind's kicking up a little bit already. It's supposed to get pretty solid. Sure by 9 o'clock. I hope by 9 o'clock we're kind of done. We got our next fluke's definitely coming home. Keeper fluke. The bite's actually not as good as I was hoping for. I was hoping for just a steadier pick of random fish. I am starting to see some more scattered life though, sonar-wise. But it's hard to say what it could be. As the drift slows down, a lot of stuff comes out of their holes, and like the sea robins and silly fish. Ooh, yeah, that looks better. Feels like that current picked up. It sure does. Oh, that's cool. Not a large one of these guys. Season's closed too. But yeah, he's gonna eat all your gulp. I think the minimum size last year was like 18 inches or something like that. He got me. Not too bad though. Pokey little fish. Black sea bass, BSBs. Cool. Last year I went on Long Island Sound to jig those guys. That was really good, I remember. So this drifts out in 23 feet of water. Intentional or not. Definitely ended up deeper on this drift. Yeah, this deeper stuff, I think I want to stick to like 18 to 20. I'm just like not feeling what I'm seeing out here in this 25 foot stuff. Well, let me power off. I'm gonna run back up. I'm gonna make these drifts kind of tight now. Let's do one with the Z-Man again. Definitely had a bunch of bites of it. Just haven't had a fluke of size yet with this guy. And this is the game that happens to me every day. What profile, what size? Should I use the Gulp? Should I use this? Should I use that? Like this is already, it seems, wow, there's 3 party boats clustered there. Up ahead. I am not going to that. But yeah, like what do you do? All right, sticking with 18. At drifting 25, I wasn't too crazy about it. Not just the speed, it just didn't seem like it was gonna. I like structure. I don't like not seeing structure. Every now and then I gotta hit those pedals. Just that drift. 7:30 a.m. Fishing for about an hour and a little over an hour probably now. It's not too bad though. I mean, it sounds about right. So there's that window. If I picked the right spot, which I'm not sure if I did, right at around, as this drift really starts dropping out, I think we should get a really good bite going. But if I pick the wrong spot, this, might be kind of this. But there might be like a 30-minute window where this gets really good. A little bit of luck. All right, next drift's gonna be with Gulp. Let's see what that does. So this is probably my 3rd or 4th drift with the Z-Man. I didn't get a fluke bite in a minute, honestly. All right, yeah, that's pretty crazy. All right, let's bring it up. I'm sticking shallow. I'm going too deep these last 2 drifts. Okay, this next drift, we're gonna use this Gulp paddle shad. I don't know if I wanna necessarily relocate to that bridge. It crossed my mind, but I think we're gonna commit. We're gonna do the full commit. We ain't gonna let our ADD take over and send us somewhere else. There's a few fish here, right? I got a 22 incher on the whiptail. Trying some other lures now, ain't doing much. Got a party boat coming back here. There's not that many kayaks out, in general these days. Seems like the kayak fishing thing is definitely done in many places. I haven't seen any kayaks out here in about 2-3 weeks, maybe 1 or 2 tops. But in terms of kayaks, no, it's been very, very, very minimal. Maybe not as many kayaks as there used to be, that's for sure. I didn't get a bite there. That's not encouraging at all. All right, bring it up. It's kind of a mix, I'd say. It's like, it sure seems like some areas are having a lot less fishing pressure these days. They definitely started backing off last year, I'd say. And this year, they're definitely at a much lower pressure. You know, there's always going to be localized, you know, report chasing nonsense in some fisheries. But in general, I'd say 75% of the places I've gone fishing to have had a huge drop in traffic that I see. Yeah, there's, like I said, there is going to be those blown up bites. But like, let's say you want to just go fishing, you got a couple spots you like, and you know, they're always just kind of decent like this, right? You know, I don't know, it's gonna be good. Is it gonna be great? I don't know, maybe not. Seems like I'm gonna have to bust my chops to get a good bite going here. But my point here is, yeah, I'm definitely not seeing that much traffic in general. You got the usual party boats, got the usual sea robins. I think that was a sea robin. Alarmingly quiet. I had a sea robin pop my jig, I think. All right, out here in no man's land, this ain't happening out there. Man, what do I gotta do, guys? I feel like I scratched the surface with a, you know, pretty early morning fluke like that. Now I'm like, I lost my way. What is the way here? All right, this is the last drift here. Oh man, these drifts have been tough. See if we got any other plays we can work on, but I don't know. Even the sea robins. There's one. I have to say his name. You ever watch Breaking Bad? It's like there's that scene where Walter White's talking to one of the drug dealers. He tells him, he's like, "Do you know who I am? Say my name." Oh, Gennard. Yeah, that's what you get for casting, you know. You think you know better. You start casting, you hang up. Stuff's probably mostly silted over if it's that easy to get out of it, you know. Only one that gave me a hard time to break off was the stuff with all the riprap there. So that's better for fluke anyway. You know, a wreck can be good. It's just you got to position yourself for it. This is my last drift here, man. I should have picked a couple more shorts. I think I should have had a little bit more steady action here. I think this area is, maybe it's winding down for the spring already. It's tough to say. You know, I'm not dialed in at all. I got 122 incher. My first drift, it took about, 30 minutes for that bite. You know, sea bass, a sea robin. I wish I was just seeing some bluefish and maybe those weak fish again today. They don't seem to be here. This is a great drift now. I'm using Gulp, and I went to the dark side because I didn't really get too many bites on the other stuff anymore. I didn't get a short fluke on the Gulp. That's where I hung up earlier. Yeah. This zone looks great though. It's got like just the right amount of current. It's got some contour. I got my Gulp paddle shad. I'm working it hard. Hoping for that bite. Just ain't coming. I feel like these fish would have turned on by now if they were going to turn on here. This would have been length of time. Man, that's quiet. South winds, I guess they start to, that's it. When you get those south winds, game changes. Here's a bite. Nah, that wasn't a good bite, though. There we go. Tough to get these fish to bite. That was one. I think that was a fluke. There's no telling how long these fish could be following these jigs for, too, before they're like, all right, time to eat it. Those were a couple smaller bites. I felt like those were probably some smaller fluke. Man, it's tough. Oh man, I don't know what to tell you. There's something working my jig there. Small fluke maybe. All right, you gotta wait for that bite. That's it. Jeez. Almost 2 hours in between bites. That's a nice one there. Oh no, what did I do? What did I do? My left arm ain't up for that task, huh? Okay. Same fish from before. Decided to bite again. Gonna put you on my YouTube payroll if you're gonna do that. All right, that's keeper number 2. It's definitely keeper. I wonder. We gotta take a look, see if that's the exact same fish from before. He's coming into the cooler. I don't want to stay out here all day with that south wind gonna kick up. One for the paddle shad though. We ain't getting much action, man. I kind of said that was gonna be the thing. I don't know if I kind of regret that a little bit from a YouTube talking head standpoint, but yeah, he's gonna go in the cooler. We're keeping this one, without a doubt. Getting bounced around some boat wakes. So the last one was like 22 on the bottom, maybe just a half inch below it. So I wonder if this is the same exact fish. Gosh, did I catch the same one again? Oh, he's a little bigger. Yeah, he's definitely a little bit bigger. The last one was not 22 and a half. He was definitely like 21, just a hair over. Hey. Well, we're gonna keep one. We know we need one. Gonna do some shrimp and flounder for lunch. Let me show you this fish real briefly here. Justin Johnson, you're my hero. This format it's fun, but it's hard to make a video that I'm super proud of. But you know, especially from saltwater, where sometimes the action it can be good and sometimes it's not. So this is my 3rd fluke of the day, so second keeper, 22 and a half incher. So we got to do that long arm, that YouTube. Oh yeah, in the dumb face, and I got to get my hair all curly. I guess finally showing the side of myself that I've been hiding for a few years again, if you like it or not. But yeah, super grateful for that, man. All right, let me put this guy in the cooler here, back here. Back over that wreck that was giving me some trouble. Okay. The water's warm. It's getting warm. Yeah, this is definitely my last visit to this zone. There's just not that much life out here right now. Glad I got one more out of that. I feel it in my My back there. I felt that turn, man. I'm getting old. Get myself out of this channel. All right, let's do that drift again. I got 1 bag of ice in there. Can't believe a bag of ice is $4. 5-pound bag of ice. That's a big difference, you know. I don't want to complain, but there's those ice machines everywhere as you get further south, and what is it, $2.50 a bag usually, $3 a bag. Here for a 16-pound bag of ice, 7-Eleven. I'm not joking. 7-Eleven was charging, I think it was $8. Maybe if I went to Stop and Shop, I could find a little cheaper bag. But you know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa, just that cost. But a lot of stuff balances out. You know, if you're here, there's no tolls. But here, the problem with Long Island is the property taxes, man. The property taxes here are insane. Some places it's 2%. You know, it's not like your house is worthless out here. Oh, that was a fish again. Talking my head off. Your house might be worth, you know, $1 million. 2%. It's a $20,000 a year property tax bill. That wind's kicking, so we ain't relocating to the bridge. There could be bluefin tuna at that bridge. I don't think I'll be able to catch them in this wind in a minute here. As soon as this tide switches, we'll do a couple drifts. I'll put it about 9:30. I think we're done. It's a day of fluke fishing. So we got, anyway, size of the fish was decent. We got what, 21.5 and 22.5. Those are both pretty decent fish. Whew, it's like watching paint dry, man. Going fluking when the bite's kind of tough. There ain't too much biodiversity going on today. But we got that change of tide current right there. That's a drop, right? Slick water. There's definitely a drop right at that slick, so let's see. We're gonna have to change that battery. We're gonna make 1 or 2 nice long drifts for the outgoing tide, and I think we're gonna wrap it up. Man, didn't really lose any tackle today, not much. All right, we're drifting into that wreck that was a little fast on. Yeah, we're not just drifting into that wreck apparently. That doesn't happen too often, that you just drop right into a rock and then you're done. Guess we don't have to drift into that wreck apparently. See if we get it back. All right, that's the first jig down. See, did we lose everything? Yeah, we got our leader at least. Sometimes this loop knot's a little hard to tie in the wind. I got a little chunk of seaweed on it. I sure hope that's not gonna become a problem. Oh gosh, this is why, see, this is the part of kayak fishing you don't want to see. You're like, oh man, it's tough. I'm trying not to, I don't want to retie a new leader. That bite window might be ticking. There's a bunch of things going on right now. There you go. That's a 1/4 ounce. Yeah, a 1/4 ounce. Let's use that guy. Let's use this guy. Got the swim bait eye on there. I think that's a 3/8 ounce jig head. See, that boat drifts much faster than the kayak too. Look how much faster. You know, me, I just pop the pedals and back in the zone here. Okay. Paddle shad, here we go. I can't believe I literally popped the bail open and dropped into something there. Oh, man, those gulps sometimes can be hard to thread on. It's a better hook though than what I was using. This channel does get narrow here though, so that funnel point can be pretty good. Oh, that tide's about to turn. The wind's definitely kicked up a bunch already. I think it turned. I mean, my jig is now going out. I'm still getting blown by the wind. We'll see if we can get a bite here, though. Hey, nice got started. Yeah, I'm only about 3 hours into my trip, not gonna lie. Man, if you're always wondering about what fluke fishing is like, now you're like, man, fluke fishing is like watching paint dry. Yeah, this is definitely a slower day, but this is kind of typical sometimes. At least it always was for me on the kayak. You know, a lot of my buddies would focus on areas that produced a lot of numbers, but not me. I was never really. I've always been like, I'm going to fish a deep hole with some structure. Might catch a weak fish or a bluefish or a striped bass in the mix too for the day. And I'm gonna probably get some decent sized fluke though. I will. When I go fluking, I'm usually not going to the areas where I'm gonna catch a lot of shorts. They're typically gonna be, 50-50 keeper to short ratio. It's typically how it goes for me. This is something. Sea bass again? Sea robin probably actually. That is another sea bass, yeah. He spit something up on me there. This pokey little fella. Can't wait till that season was on. I've been doing a couple of those trips if that season was open already, but it's not. Drifting near this wreck I hung up on earlier. Did have two boats go by. So a little harder to get in this zone. Everyone left. Okay, there was probably like 4 boats drifting here for that one drift. They all left. This is not a easy bite for a boat to work, man. If I was on a boat, I wouldn't be here right now. But I'm more, trying to slow pick through some of these zones that I feel like could have a few fish. I'd say it's more kayak appropriate than anything. We got 1, we got 2. I love when those sea robins follow each other up like that. Gunards. I don't know if I was going to be able to pull this off trying to do it on the bridge, this uncut stuff. I'm trying, man. I got a lot of ideas. Did I get that other sea robin? I definitely did. I double whammied. That other one must have eaten it too. I bet he did. That sneaky fella there. Anyway, what I was saying is I'm trying to just something different, man. I don't know. These unedited videos did pretty well last time I did them. I just, even a day like this is tough to come by in North Carolina. It's not that the saltwater fishing's, it's like drum. Yeah, you could have a decent day of drum, but a lot of it comes down to picking a good setting to make this kind of video. And to me, this is a pretty good one. Sure, I gotta hit my pedals every now and then to adjust, but I'm pretty chill out here. There's a few boats going by, but for the most part, it's not like I'm trying to, maybe this is the major spot, but I try to do my best to mitigate that. It goes back to the discussion of if somebody who makes fishing content should even exist, right? I'm fishing for a living. I'm loving what I do, but I do sometimes get a little conscious about the areas I'm trying to do it in. I always want to do it in areas that are kind of forgiving to it, or this area is going to have boats there every day. This is the sea robin hole here. It sure is. We gotta get out of this one. All right, well, there you go. Last of those guys. Very different versus the North Shore, uncut, right? A lot less action. I wouldn't say the fishing's bad though, man. Decent sized fluke. You know, this is how it goes fishing wise, man. I'm picking spots. I don't know them that well. Just throwing darts. So now definitely the wind is overriding any tidal action. I'll put this Suffix Nano braid on. I've talked about it a little bit. It's a kind of interesting braid. It's pretty strong. It's a 14-pound. Like I think it's a 6-strand, or maybe it's a 4-strand. It's definitely a weirder braided line, but I really like it. Actually, sorry, let me correct it. I like it on a pen reel. Pen reels are really weird with braided lines. Okay. Where's the big gabagool down here? South wind, 9 a.m. You're done. You're done. Forget about it. Fugazi. But we might get one good drift before what's going to happen is that current's going to really pick up, and then it's going to get really sloppy, the drift. Drift-wise, it's going to suck after that current really gets going. So it's going to be about 45 minutes. It's going to be pretty much a total waste of time. It's getting a little busier here, so let me make one move. I think we got enough conditions that I'm going to try one last thing here before I move to a different zone. A lot of boats. It's 9 o'clock, so it's the time it gets busy out here. That makes some sense. Let me see what we can find. Just make a couple quick casts here. My little golden shrimp. Oh yeah. I'm really surprised I'm not getting a couple more sea robins, actually, though. That's one thing that's really surprising me too, though. You know that is puffer fish eating my shrimp tail. If only he was eating my real shrimp tails. Okay. Make a couple casts along this sandbar here. Traffic sucks though. Let's start. Some bait here, that's for sure. That's the first thing I'm seeing. I didn't see any of the other spots. Other spots didn't have any bait. Got a nice fish on there. I got a nice sea robin. There we go. That's what that is. Prized game fish. Come on, Gennard. Got my hopes up. Should be a good fish here. Well, that wasn't bad. Looked worse than it seemed. Let's see. Okay, it's third keeper. All right, yeah, that'll be keeper number 3 at a 20 and a half. It's not too bad. Okay, I'm gonna keep this guy. Brings it up to 3. Get over there, camera. All right, 3rd keeper. Keep that one. Almost didn't keep him. Adjust that guy. All right, let's do that drift one more time. Maybe we'll get ourselves a big boy to let go. I don't know who's left watching. I gotta get let's figure out how to make this long form, but also, there was a lot of dead time here today. Get those, as I said earlier. Ooh, there's a bite. Sea robin. That's the 3 fish limit. Well, if I kept my limit, biggest fish, 22.5. Not bad. Yeah, it's a tough pick. Picked a good spot, peaceful wise. The boat traffic did pick up at 9. So I fished 6 a.m. to 10. Headed back to the house, car now. Maybe we'll do one day at the bridge tomorrow. I was hoping maybe see one 25-inch plus fish there though. I kind of picked that as a doormat spot, but still decent. Paddle shad, nah, it didn't get much difference in action between Gulp and I had a few more sea robins on Gulp, but for the most part, no, not too much other action on that. So hopefully these microphones work pretty well. I'm toying with them to get better audio. Caught some fish. Fish police behind me. Maybe they're gonna check me right now. Don't know, but next time they might. I used the Gulp paddle shad today. Right, that's that guy. Not sure if you've seen that before. I do like those things. And I used the whiptail for the first fish. I honestly just moved off the whiptail to try to get a little more action on the camera, so it's not total snooze fest. I appreciate everyone for watching. If you like the channel and the content, you can always support it. Maybe pick up a pack of those whiptail shads. More long form stuff. I'm experimenting. I'm sorry if it's not for you. I'm gonna put more of it out. I'm kind of enjoying making it. Granted, I might not fish the areas that I might normally want to fish, but at the end of the day, I'm going fishing. I'm not dreading going fishing with this particular method, but I do want to make sure, hopefully I can catch enough fish throughout a day of fishing to keep it entertaining. I mean, it requires me to get a little bit more verbal and better on camera. So there was probably a couple of 20-minute stretches where I didn't have any bites, powered on the camera and off. I won't include those. I know that's kind of unfair for the concept of uncut, but really there was no fish caught on a full drift. So maybe I said something important there, but can't be that important. Thanks for watching, everybody.